Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Jeff with Wabash Outdoors. For some of you that don't know me or recognize me, I still have a little purple tint to my hair yet. Uh, the reason why I'm coming at you guys today, some things has been weighing on my mind here for a while, and for the ones that don't really know me, about my channel and stuff, Bug and I, we like the outdoors and stuff, so we do a lot of fishing and camping and hunting and everything, and used to do some dirt tracking and stuff, but, when you're doing it by yourself, it's kind of hard for it to be able to keep racing, so we're doing something a little different this year. We're going to take and build a mud bog truck, so we're going to have videos for it and everything. And this camera, I don't know if it's me or what, but it looks a little out of place there. But anyway, some other things you guys may not know about me. I am a published author. I've written a book back in 2012 called Crash Boomer, and it's sold quite a few copies and stuff and everything. Not enough to get rich off of, but it's also been pitched to Hollywood back in the day, and that's where my journey really began. That's where you find out about a lot of things. I wrote this book because, like many people out there knows, Bug and I were usually laid off in the winter time, so basically all we do is sit around the house and hunt and everything like that when we can. But that's how we used to feed our family. Well, it's just her and I now, and our kids are grown and out on their own. I still like to write whenever I can. Normally I write whenever I'm laid off, but it's been hard to write since maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I found something out that's been hard for me to write since then, and I'll explain a little bit later on that. And like I said, how the title says in this for this video, yeah, I've been robbed. I've been robbed of certain rights. I've been robbed, let's just say I've been robbed, and that kind of hurts. But what I've been robbed at is, like I said, I wrote the book Crash Boomer, and it's copyrighted and everything. I've got a copyright on it and stuff, and this book's been out since 2012, and I've sold quite a few copies. I made my money back from what I put into it and everything, and a little bit more, but nothing to get rich off of, But I was happy. Then whenever I was talked into pitching it to Hollywood, and hey, yeah, why not? Because I was told the book was good enough to be made into a movie. Well, so I said, well, let's go for it. So I got with my publisher and everything, got everything going and stuff, and it was pitched to Hollywood. And that's whenever things went downhill. About 2.5, 3 years later, well, no, it had been about 4 years later, I quit derbying and I went into dirt track racing. Well, I was on YouTube looking up old movies and stuff for dirt track racing and stuff, and I came across this one movie that really caught my eye. Well, after me watching 2 or 3 trailers of this movie, my gut sank. I mean, I got a knot in my gut the size of both of my fists, and both of my fists dang near covers up my head. That's how much of a knot I had in my gut. So I contacted my son and my daughter and my daughter's fiance and had them come over, because I was explaining to them what I came across. And well, my son computer whiz that he is, he got on there and he found a movie to this, the movie of the trailers that I've seen. And they started watching it. And I told him, I said, if the beginning of this movie ends up being just like the way it is in my book, said, I'm not watching it. And let me tell you, I never stayed up there for more than three minutes or so, and I had to leave. For the introduction of the movie in the first part of the 4 minutes of that movie was identical. I mean, to the T, identical to my introduction in my book. And it made me sick. So I came downstairs while my son and daughter and her fiance was upstairs watching this movie. Then a couple hours later they came down, and my son had this look on his face, and for my son's done maybe about 3 or 4 book reports on my book, Crash Boomer. And he came downstairs, he goes, you have a problem. And I go, oh, yeah, and he goes, he goes, that is your book. They just put enough spin on it and made it into a dirt track movie, and put their little spin on it and everything to make it theirs. He goes, a lot of the key parts of the movie it's straight out of your book. So, you know, for the past, I was in the middle of writing the second volume of my book, because there's, you know, I've got 2 or 3 ideas in my head on different books for the same book. And ever since then that my son told me that, I start trying to write my book, and it flashes back in my head on, what's the point? Your material's just going to be stolen by another dang director or whoever, screenwriter or whatever, to make it their own, and what are you going to get? Nothing. And for the past, since 2016, 2017, I haven't hardly been able to write at all. I mean, every time I start to write, that keeps coming back in my mind. And last night, just out of the blue, you know, I watched one of my favorite dirt track movies, Alabama Dirt, yesterday, and last night I was laying in bed, and my book and the other movie that was made out of my book, it just would not leave. Oh, guys, forgive me about this. I had a little camera issues. But as I was saying, I was laying in bed and everything, and I could not get my mind off my book or the movie. That was affecting might as well say, my health. For I told Bug, I said, I can't lay here any longer. I can't sleep. I cannot get the idea of what this guy did with this movie and everything that stole all this material out of my book. So I said, instead of me keeping you up all night, I'm going to go do something about it. Well, I got up last night around 11 o'clock in the evening, and I got the movie, and I took and got my pen and paper, and I sat from 11 o'clock till 3:30 in the morning, going scene by scene, and everything that was on the scene of the movie that I knew was out of my book. I went back to stop the movie, wrote down the time that where the scene is, from the minute and second of the scene, and then I went to my book, Crash Boomer, and I found it, the scene out of the book and stuff, and I took and wrote down what chapter and what page that the scene of the movie came out of my book. I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. And I know there's a lot more. I just got too tired. I didn't want to keep doing it. But I'll end up finishing it up later. But as of right now, I've got 5 pages of scenes from the movie written down, and that coincides with the what was going on in my book. You know, what these big guys do, they steal material from us little guys, like, I had my book pitch for Hollywood, and I've got it figured out now, and I wish there was something I could do. I have a feeling what they do, because I talked to another author that this has happened to her, and her stuff, because we was through the same publishing company, and it makes me wonder. But her stuff that she had pitched to Hollywood was tit for tat for, I don't know if you guys remember the movie, The 300, but she swears up and down, and she's got proof of everything that movie was tit for tat out of her book. But I think is what happens when these publishing companies pitches these movies for Hollywood or whatever. It goes out into a database where screenwriters, directors, anyone that deals with the movies can check these things out. Then if it sounds interesting enough to them, I believe what they do, they buy the book, have someone read it and stuff, and if it's good enough, then they try to spin it to make it their own. And I think that's what's happened with my book, Crash Boomer. Someone got on the database, seen it was on the database and stuff, instead of buying or checking in like they should, they just went out and bought the book and got all the info they wanted out of the book. So, like, little guys like us has no chance. I called the guy that wrote the screenplay, or screenwriter, or the director, or whoever name is on the movie. He's trying to accuse me because I was telling him about my book. He's trying to accuse me. He said, "What? You stole my ideas for a book?" He goes, "That's copyright, right?" And I got thinking, copyright? Yeah, I do have a copyright. I go, my copyright is in 2012. I go, I checked all the copyrights, because copyright is public information. Anything that, like a movie, book, any type of material that is copyrighted, or what am I trying to say? Well, like I say, I'm a redneck educated person, so I don't know everything on everything. So, but anyway, I dug and dug and dug, and only copyright I found of his is his movie only. No books, no screenplays, nothing. And this movie came out in the latter part of 2012, or 2016, my bad. And my book came out in 2012, and I explained that to him. The guy wouldn't talk to me after that. He won't return my emails, he won't return my phone calls. So, what am I to do? But I just know this, it makes it harder in hell for me to try to write, because, my material's going to get stolen and make other people millions of dollars. And what do I get? Nothing. And if you're wondering what movie it is. You know, right now I'm at to a point where I don't care anymore. I'm a poor redneck. We scrape by during the winter time. I live in Illinois. That ought to tell you a lot. But here's my book, Crash Boomer. It's a Demolition Derby book. Here's the movie, Gearheads. So like I say, yeah, my book's a derby book, but Gearheads is a racing movie. If you don't believe me, check them out for yourself. I mean, read my book, rent the movie, and check it out for yourself. And it wasn't my only son. I've had a bunch of people that's bought my book, and then I put a video out on Facebook years ago about it, and they all came back and told me, man, you got screwed. Said, even though that's a racing movie, it is dead on, except for some spins that they put in it. It is dead on out of your book. It don't take no rocket scientist to know this. So, the reason why I'm making this video is to let other authors know and everything what I'm going through, and maybe share this around. Maybe I might be able to get someone to help me out, to be able to just help me, you know what I mean? Because this shouldn't happen to another author. I put a lot of money in my book, a lot of time, and my family done without because I was trying to follow my dream of writing, and my family was behind me. They're still behind me, but with this little deal that happened to me, it just makes it hard for me to write. I mean, I got a lot of words and book ideas and everything in my head, and you know, it's like I say, I got a volume 2 of Crash Boomer that I've been writing and everything, but every time I start writing, this ordeal with Gearheads keeps popping in my head, and it's discouraging. So I don't, you know, I know this isn't what my channel's about, but hey, I just want to make people aware of what goes on. My heater just kicked on, so hopefully you'll be able to still hear me. So guys, if you have any ideas, or you know anybody that could help me, or you just want to help, share this video, you know. Help a poor redneck out. So I know this isn't an outdoors deal right now, but you know, this is my other hobby I like doing. I like to write, so I just want to let you guys know I'm an educated redneck that just knows enough to get by. But leave me some comments, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and please guys, share this around and help me out, because I've been going through this since 2016, and I'd like to have it resolved. I can't, like I say, I can't get the guy that wrote the screenplay and did the movie and everything to contact me anymore, so I don't know what else to do. I'm poor, I can't fight Hollywood, and it's hard when someone like that breaks a person's dreams. And that's another reason why I'm making this video, to give fair warning to people out there that's authors and stuff, or upcoming authors. Watch yourselves. because you'll end up like me, still poor. Alright guys, enough of this. Here in the near future, I'm going to get back, once the weather breaks, I'm going to get back working on the mud bulb truck and everything. Then we're going to have a bunch of videos of us doing mud stuff and everything, and our fishing will be coming back up. We'll see if Bug can catch some more gurs. So, but anyway guys, help me out, share this video, like, subscribe, and hopefully through my fans and everything on here, and your friends and your friends' friends, if we keep sharing this video will get to the right person that be able to help small people like us that has dreams, that will help us and get things resolved. So God bless y'all. I love you, and hopefully I'll have some better videos than this coming up here soon. Later.